I was asked for more rake solos. Hello. Thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you. I feel it too.
Hello, this is Uncle Sam. That's right, I'm the man. Thank you, all good citizens, for watching on January 16th, 2014. As we present another ineffable Perry Logan show called If You Don't Like Government. First, a question for our young people. Young people, have you thanked a baby boomer today for not sending you off to die in a foreign war?
Why, no! No, I haven't!
I would like the young people of America to thank a boomer today for not sending them off to die in a foreign war. And also for all those great songs we boomers wrote. And please, young people, we love you, but you cannot write a song to save your life. Please, young people, do not write songs or we shall be forced to send you off to a foreign war. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this is Uncle Sam, the very voice of America. The guy who sends you off to die in foreign countries, sometimes for good reason, sometimes just to help the corporations. And I wanted, first of all, to apologize for all those bloody wars, some of which I'm still involved in, I realize, and also to acknowledge, in the words of my friend Hap 9000,
I've been making some bad decisions lately, Perry.
Yes, that's right, it's good old Hap 9000, the malfunctioning computer. It's January 16th, 2014, and I've got to admit, things have really gotten out of hand. The right are doing nothing but blubbering about Obamacare.
Blubbering about Obamacare?
That's right. You know the right in America. There's nothing like the threat of improved public health to send the right into a hissy snit. I said a hissy snit. And right now, the right, who sometimes say the left tend to whine, are blubbering their eyes out about Obamacare. Just look.
Obamacare is socialism. Obamacare is populism. Obamacare is a government takeover. Obamacare was designed to fail. Obamacare is whatever I pull out of my butt. I'm a right-winger. Obamacare is whatever I pull out of my butt.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Palin. I'm a right-winger, and Obamacare is whatever I pull out of my butt. Check it out.
That's right, Sarah. This is Rush Limbaugh, proving the old adage, show me someone who badmouths liberals and I'll show you a degenerate. Agreeing with Sarah Palin, Obamacare is evil. Obamacare is whatever I pull out of my butt. This is Alex Jones. Obamacare is evil. The government did it. Obamacare is evil. The government did it. I said, shut up, Alex!
Perry, would you like me to terminate these people?
No, Hap, no. Terminate nobody. Terminate nobody. Terminate yourself, Hap. Please, please. Perry told me I might get interrupted by hallucinations. But I, Uncle Sam, would be the first to say things have really gone bad. The government has gone so bad, everyone hates Congress. Most people hate the Democrats. People are leaving both parties in droves. And polls show that most people in America see government as the biggest problem in front of them. Now that's pretty bad. You know, I always said government was the problem, not the solution. But then again, mine was easily the most corrupt administration of the 20th century. The Perry Logan Show salutes Ronald the Death Squad Reagan, the most corrupt administration by far of the 20th century. Actual fact. Well, Tim. Yeah, Jim. Check out this crawl. Here you go. Now, how's that for corruption? You know, people don't know that about Reagan. That's a hell of a lot of corruption. It is by far more corruption than any administration of the 20th century. Well, what about Clinton? Just the opposite. Clinton's was the cleanest two-term administration since Teddy Roosevelt. Wow. Shows how screwed up the media is, huh, Tim? Well, Jim, what do you expect when the media is run by the private sector? That's right, you can't trust the private sector. No way, Tim. The private sector will screw up anything. Absolutely, Tim. Private sector is evil. Totally, Tim. Verily, business people are the spawn of Satan. Well, I don't know about that, Tim. Some of them are kind of cute. You can say that again. Thank you, Tim and Jim. But as I was saying, I apologize for all this bad government you're getting. I agree with Perry Logan. Our government totally deserves its rotten reputation. But I want you to think about just one thing. That's right. Just one thing I want you to think about. I, Uncle Sam, am here to remind you that government is a whole lot like the human head. If you don't like government, try doing without it. If you don't like big government, move to a small country. If you don't like government, move to a desert island.
Hello and welcome to the tiny infinitesimal desert island of Zip. So tiny it has no designation or name whatsoever. It's an island small enough just for you.
This is the Perry Logan Show, inviting the anti-government folks among us. I guess that's the Republicans, the righties, and the libertarians. That's a lot of anti-government folks to live in a country, all of them taking full advantage of the services of the government, while complaining about having to pay for services rendered. We invite all of you who are anti-government, who hate government, who think government should be limited to move to a desert island and live by yourself. That's pretty much the only way you're going to have no government. Here's Perry to explain. Has the show started? Has the show started? Hey. Well, we're living in a time of distrust of government. I hasten to say, well-earned distrust of government. Government, how can I deny it, has been effing up right and left. I think it's been effing up in many ways. Perhaps not in as many ways as folks say. Certainly not in as many ways as the folks on the right, our conservatives and libertarian types, are saying. They are blubbering about Obamacare.
Obamacare is a government takeover of socialism. Obamacare was designed to fail.
It's pretty plangent. It's a very plangent and sad song, and because they think it's part of a big government takeover. You know? We tell them it's a deal with the insurance companies. The insurance companies say it's a deal with the insurance companies, but people can't deal with it. So we're living in a time when indeed the polls say, lay polls, you know how important the polls are to us political folk. It's kind of like our window, attempted, very, very imperfect window into political reality. And the polls seem to say people see the government by now. Very much as Ronald Reagan, I have to give credit where it's due. Ronald Reagan kind of said government is the problem. Now, here's my problem with that. I just wanted to hasten to say the problem with viewing government as a problem and then going into government. You know, I guess even becoming president, right? Even Republican presidents say, we are going to erase all government, or we're anti-government, you know. Well, you know. And you see, they have every incentive. Anyone who says government is evil and then, I think somewhat hypocritically, goes into government, don't you think they're probably there with the express purpose of screwing things up? We're talking about a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you say government is the problem and then go into government, use your great moneyed resources and stuff to go into government and take over government and deliberately screw it up for 30 straight years. Thank you, Republicans. Now, I would have thought, this is what I'm thinking, and I'm telling you, aren't I? I know, stop interrupting. I said, stop interrupting. If you don't like government, you need to live on a desert island. Look, if you really hate government, and I've been just a really phenomenal number of people now hate government. Well, of course, you know, bad government does that. Whoa. But you see, it all goes back to the, if you say government is bad, then go into government, you're probably going to screw things up, huh? Could we just look at the facts there and say, well, now, what would be your motive to do anything right? If you have the power to get into government on an anti-government ticket, it's going to make you look bad to do anything right. That's like the history of the Republican Party since Ronald Reagan said those brave words. We've come full circle by now, in my opinion, where we're looking at like your global warming,
poverty, income disparity, resource allocation, the ravages of the giant corporations, our runaway surveillance state, and movement toward fascism. These are all things that can only be fixed by a government or by fixing a broken government. Hello, this is Uncle Sam, and I'm here to say, please help me and Perry Logan fix the U.S. government. My friends, after 30 years of treating government as the problem, we can see as clearly as the light of day that government is the only solution to all the problems we created by treating government as the problem.
why, yes. If you really hate government, you've got to move to a desert island. Look, I'm sure there's plenty of desert islands for people who can't stand government, but you pretty much are going to have to go to a desert island by yourself. Pretty sure you're going to need something along the lines of government once you got pretty much one person there, okay? So I hope there's a lot of desert islands for people who hate government, but you know, I would just say it's much nicer to go off to a desert island if you can't stand government than stay here and try to screw up government for all of us, yes? Hey, anti-government people, time for you to go to a desert island. If you don't like government, off you go. May you survive. Okay. If you don't like big government, move to a small country. Okay? You see, we're a big country with big problems. It's kind of like if you have big feet, you need big shoes. If you have a big car, you need a big engine, okay? We're a big country, all right? Big government. Ah! But I'm solving all kinds of problems that are raging right now. Is it the writer? They're kind of blubbering about Obamacare. We have some footage on that.
Obamacare is socialism. Obamacare is populism. Obamacare is a government takeover. Obamacare was designed to fail. Obamacare is whatever I pull out of my butt. I'm a right winger. Obamacare is whatever I pull out of my butt.
Some very sad footage there on the right, who on this day, I believe it's January 16th, 2014. And among other things, the writer in torment. Right? Conservatives in the U.S. are in a state of serious and unrelenting pain. Well, not real physical pain. They are just panties in a wad about Obamacare and blubbering most pathetically about this, in my opinion, feeble attempt. Feeble but better than nothing attempt. Could I put it that way? Is that too rhythmical for you? A feeble but better than nothing attempt. A feeble but better than nothing attempt. I guess I can't do it. A feeble but better than nothing attempt to fix our horrible, broken, pathetically privately run healthcare system, which delivers the goods with such less efficiency than those godlike government-run programs in the other superior nations of the world. Break solo. But Perry's right. There's nothing unusual about pretending to play a rake or a brush as a guitar. Conservatives, righties, libertarians, and anti-government loonies in the U.S. are suffering the tortures of the damned. Or if not, you've got to explain why they're howling execrations like dogs against this feeble attempt, better than nothing, to fix our ailing healthcare system. The people who hate Obamacare most are anti-government folks. And to these people, Perry says, please, if you really hate government, go live on a desert island and stop screwing up our government. If you don't like big government, go to a small country, okay? But I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to give up your guns. You're gonna have to give up your gun. Was ist mit den Gitarren? Ja, ha. This is Albert Einstein. Ja. Did you know I was a socialist? Yeah, I was a socialist. I think it proves one of Perry Logan's theories that the farther left you go, the smarter they get, and vice versa. Hey, Carl. Hey, Albert. Perry wanted me, the spirit of Albert Einstein, to explain about power vacuums. That's right. It's time for a little hard science on the Perry Logan Show. But first, watch this. Thank you. What the anti-government people don't say is that downsizing the government will create a power vacuum. This is not really physics, but political science and sociology and the like. But Perry thought a smart socialist like me, Albert Einstein, a socialist, that you can't have limited government without the corporations taking over. Here's Perry Logan to explain. Why, yes. Here's something to anti-government folks who abide here in the U.S., something they always leave out of their equation, and I think just a kind of an innocent, almost hippie-like way, is the possibility that a big corporation might be doing bad things, and who's going to stop them with your limited government? It's what Albert Einstein might call a power vacuum. Yeah, a power vacuum. Well, he probably wouldn't. Actually, I don't think Albert Einstein laughed maniacally, unless he was terribly amused. But the righties act like there's never going to be a problem with a big corporation getting in there, muscling in there, and doing whatever they want. It's happening even as I speak. Yeah, it's happening in the form of fracking. Fracking is this kind of like new way of getting fuel, which, as you may know, you probably know, fracking is, in my opinion, a terrible, just like ecologically nightmarish. Fracking is the thing that enables you to light your drinking water on fire. Now that's the thing, it's coming, it's not the government, in my opinion, it's not the government making an assault on your freedom, is it? It's a big old corporation, it's some big oil companies. They're the biggest companies in the world. Bigger than most countries, right? What I'm saying is, folks in the U.S. are always talking about limited government. Oh, they do like to repeat themselves. The folks I affectionately call the righties, they call us the lefties, okay?
They call us the lefties, so we can call them the righties, yes? I said yes? Okay. Well, the righties want to limit government. They talk about it all the time. And it's like they think if we limit the government in some ways, you know, make it smaller, take away the money, get rid of waste, and of course it depends on which person on the right, which conservative colleague you are talking to, as to just how out of control that gets about what you're supposed to cut out. Oh, though the military is always excluded. Somehow the military is always excluded from these calculations. It turns out the military can be as big as possible. The military can do anything. The military can do anything. Long live the military. More military.
And now Perry Logan with a plea to Republicans.
I do all of this with love. And you know it's all a shtick, okay? No one should hurt anyone. However, Republicans and right-wing people and conservatives, so help me. Could you guys stop making up stuff about Obama and then calling it a scandal? Republicans are making stuff up about Obama and then calling it a scandal. Want you to think a little about that, you know, like philosophical, ontological, epistemological kind of thing, you know. I say this against the background of the right's undying hatred for Democrats and liberals and stuff like that. The right will totally brag about their hatred of liberals, which strikes me as something that degenerates do. Just to take a moment to remind you that degenerates hate liberals, okay? One might go so far as to say, show me someone who badmouths liberals and I'll show you a degenerate.
And now the Perry Logan If You Hate Government Band and the Perry Logan Dancers!
Take it!
Frustrated with his inability to find a sufficient number of islands on which anti-government people could live, Perry took a trip to some other planets. He went to PSRB 1620-26. He went to Epsilon Eridani. He went to 91 Aquari B. Now there's a planet. He went to 55 Cancri. He went to HD 2094558B. He went to Gliese 876B. And as he headed back to Earth, Perry thought, well, maybe it's not very realistic to ask the government folks to go find an individual planet for themselves, or a desert island. But you've got to admit, it makes more sense than getting into government and deliberately screwing up, and let's face it, that's what the repubs have done. It's like Uncle Sam said, I want you to help us repair our totally messed up government. Keep in mind, not having a government is a lot like not having a head.
distrusting government is a lot like distrusting your head. And if you really hate government, you have got to get out of here. You've got to stop trying to screw up government. We are faced with problems that only government can solve. Perry Logan would like to express this to you in the form of a deeply symbolic tramp routine. If you hate government, try doing without it for a while. If you hate government, try living on a desert island, all right? Whoa, Tim. What, Jim? Can we see that last part again in slow motion? After the things you've done for me? Anything, Tim. So, why are we doing this, Jim? Because of the deep symbolism, Tim. You know how profoundly symbolic Perry's tramp routines are. And look, right here, look at that thing with his arms. That means, if you don't like government, try doing without it for a while. I see. And there, that thing, that little thing with the hips. Did you see that little shake of the hips? Oh, I sure did. That means, if you don't like big government, find a small country. What's that little thrust of the pelvis there? That really sexual, gross thrust of the pelvis. That means, if you don't like government, go live on a desert island. Or an exoplanet, right, Tim? Yeah, Jim, there he goes! Thank you for watching the Perry Logan Show! Go home! Go home! Go away! Be gone!